Good morning. I'm Chaplain John Rollison, and thank you so much for joining us for today's Advent reading and lesson from the Christian History Institute. Today's message begins with a reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14, where we can read, "And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and full of truth." Now, many years ago, C.S. Lewis, in his book Miracles, wrote, "The central miracle asserted by Christians is the incarnation. They say that God became man. Every other miracle prepares for this, or exhibits this, or results from this." And again, that's C.S. Lewis from his book Miracles. Over time in his Christian walk, C.S. Lewis came to realize that Christianity tells us how God is the power behind the moral law, and yet also a person who forgives. The key here is to understand that God, the lawgiver, provides the necessary forgiveness to cover our failures. And this is why we celebrate Advent. For, as Lewis explains, it's through Christ the demands of the law have been met on our behalf, when God himself becomes a man to save man from God's disapproval. In other words, as the creeds explain, our hopelessness is overcome by the incarnation and atoning work of Christ, who, for our salvation, came down from heaven and was made a man. To quote Lewis once again, our God does come down to come up again and brings the whole ruined world up with him. God who became a man, truly, this is the grand miracle. I pray that you know Jesus, and I pray that this message brought you hope and encouragement this morning. Until tomorrow, I'm Chaplain John Rollison.